some men, there are no limits. Devon Larratt!
Do you think there's anyone on this planet right now that can beat him?
Not that I know of. I don't think that anybody in North America can. I mean, unfortunately. I mean, I know I'm strong. I know I am.
In a recent interview, Devon Larratt opened up about his future in arm wrestling, following the injury he sustained during his highly publicized match against Levan Said. The injury, which involved a significant bicep tear, raised questions about whether he would continue competing or not. In the interview, Larratt has told us the truth. Devon Larratt, a prominent figure in the arm wrestling community, suffered a significant injury during a highly publicized match against Levan Said. This incident occurred during what many consider one of the biggest arm wrestling events in history. In the second round of the match, Larratt experienced a bicep injury that has since sparked considerable discussion among fans and medical professionals alike. At 47 years old, Devon stands at 6 feet 5 inches, 196 centimeters, and weighs around 240 pounds, 109 kilograms. His injury was specifically to his right bicep, which he described as feeling ripped apart during the match. Although there wasn't a dramatic snap, the mechanics of arm wrestling put immense strain on his muscles and tendons, leading to what appeared to be a partial tear rather than a complete rupture. Medical experts noted that such injuries often occur when muscles are under eccentric load, stretching while attempting to contract. Despite the pain, Larratt's competitive spirit shone through. He continued to push himself during the match, even expressing a willingness to risk further injury, stating he wanted to go all out, even if it meant breaking his arm. This mentality reflects his intense dedication to the sport and desire to compete at the highest level. In the aftermath of the injury, Larratt has been focusing on recovery and rehabilitation. He is working with medical professionals to ensure proper healing while also adapting his training regimen to minimize future risks. As he prepares for future competitions, his resilience and commitment to arm wrestling remains strong, inspiring many within the community. Arm wrestling has been around for a very long time, and people have used it throughout history to determine who is the most powerful. However, in modern history, it has developed into a mainstream sport, and many believe that Devon Larratt is the greatest athlete in its history. The Canadian has won numerous arm wrestling world champion titles and has raised the sport to a new level of popularity. Devon Larratt was born in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, where he spent his formative years. Interestingly, Devon developed his passion at a very young age, specifically in his younger teenage years. However, it all originated from his first arm wrestling match against his own grandmother. As Devon Larratt grew older, his love for arm wrestling never faded, but he also found new interests along the way. At 21, he made a life-changing decision to join the military, becoming a member of the Canadian Special Operations Forces. He served with the Elite Joint Task Force 2 for 16 years, a period that defined much of his life. During this time, Devon was deployed to Afghanistan 7 times, and on one of those missions, he was injured. Despite the danger, Devon thrived in the military. He loved the camaraderie and purpose it gave him, never imagining he would leave. In fact, he believed he'd spend his entire life serving. Remarkably, he managed to balance his military career with his passion for professional arm wrestling, excelling in both fields. Devon's journey into combat sports started early, thanks to his mother, who saw his natural fighting spirit. He began practicing judo in grade 2, around the age of 7 or 8, and kept up his training until he joined the military. When Devon got into arm wrestling, it wasn't yet a mainstream sport, so he competed in underground matches for a while. His first big international appearance came in 1999 at the WEF World Championships, where he faced arm wrestling legend John Brzenk and lost. But that loss only fueled Devon's determination. Over the next 2 years, he dominated regional and national competitions, leading up to his second international event at the 2002 Niagara Championships, where he emerged victorious. This win put him on the map, and soon he was competing on the sport's biggest stages. In 2008, Devon pulled off a historic upset by defeating John Brzenk, the man considered unbeatable for over 20 years in a super match. Not only did he win, but he did so decisively, not letting Brzenk take a single round. This victory solidified Devon's reputation as the greatest right-handed arm wrestler at that time. He followed it up by defeating top athletes like Michael Todd, sparking one of the sport's most intense rivalries. Devon's dominance continued, and by 2010 he was ranked #1 in both right-handed and left-handed arm wrestling, a rare and remarkable feat. However, being the man to beat meant he constantly had to defend his titles. In 2011, he lost his left-handed world title to Travis Bagant, but quickly reclaimed it the following year, defeating Andrei Pushkar in a 5-1 victory. 2013 proved to be a tough year for Devon, as challengers like Oleg Jacques, Wilton Brock, and Eric Wolfel came after his left-hand title. Though he successfully defended it, his reign came to an end later that year, when surgeries on both his elbows forced him to relinquish both titles. Devon Larratt's training and diet. Devon Larratt has experimented with various training styles over the course of his career. Having done judo and spent over 15 years in the military, Devon trained his body to be capable of all sorts of movements. However, he now refers to himself exclusively as an arm wrestler. So his only focus in training is to improve his arm wrestling abilities. Specifically, as Devon Larratt revealed in an interview, he trains 3 to 4 times a day, and all of those sessions are only focused on arm wrestling movements of his right arm. He also separates his training into 3 parts, the first of which is low-intensity arm wrestling. Another one is conditioning and rehab, which Devon Larratt finds extremely important, considering that ligaments and tendons suffer a lot in arm wrestling. The third portion of his training is strength and specific movements, which consist of a few special exercises. Devon Larratt has experimented with a variety of diets over the years, including vegan, carnivore, balanced, and bodybuilding-focused plans. Despite trying out different approaches, he's never placed much emphasis on strict dieting when it comes to arm wrestling. In his view, the most important factor for arm wrestlers is simply eating enough to fuel their performance. Devon enjoys playing around with food, as seen in one of his YouTube videos where he cooked eggs with Doritos. However, one meal, in particular, has become a signature part of his image: pancakes. At a certain point in his career, Devon decided he needed to bulk up and realized that pancakes were an ideal way to pack on size and strength. His love for pancakes drenched in maple syrup became well known, turning into a fun meme within the arm wrestling community.